Hey people, welcome to another midweek build. Hope everyone's good today. So we're carrying on the Stowgate Station build then. I should hopefully get it finished today after yesterday's sort of impromptu sort of end proceedings. So I have got bag 18 laid out here now. There's 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, so it's like after this there's 5 more stages, there's about 10 bags or so. So we're a good chunk of the way through it. I suspect this might take a little while. So we're starting to work on the sort of glass roof section that makes up the 2 sides of the building, and it's all made from lots of these sort of little garage door sort of slat-like pieces. You know, they all clip together and they rotate. I'm just showing. Excuse me. So yeah, these little pieces here then. So there's lots of these, and then we've got loads of Technic then, sort of bars and pins and stuff. So we're gonna create this nice curved roof. So I'm just gonna crack straight on here anyway. Sort of get through it as quickly as we can. Not terribly excited about this stage of the build, to be honest, but we'll get there. I suspect we're going to have to do this quite a few times now. I'm actually just going to skip forward in the instructions a little bit just to see, because it doesn't say anything here about replicating multiple times, but my suspicion is we will be. One, two, so there's like 3 on that side. Do you know what, I'll just kind of build it as per instruction. I'm going to build I'm going to build 3 of them for now, because it looks like there's 3 on this end that all sort of join up together, so I'm just going to build them all at the same time. And then I'll not go any sort of further than that at this point. I know it does look like the whole way across the roof is built up in a similar fashion. Yeah, I think the only difference is one of them has those wee pins in it then to sort of connect them all across. So I'll just build them all at the same time. It's just kind of how I like to approach stages where you maybe have sort of a repeating section in the instructions. I just like to build them all together. I suppose the only problem with that is if I make a mistake on one, then I make a mistake on them all, but hopefully we'll not do that. So 1, 2, 3, so I've got another curved piece on top here with a clip on the end. So there's going to be a lot of this because the entire roof is designed the exact same way, and it's the same on both sides. It goes the whole way along the length of this build. So yeah, it's not going to be the most exhilarating of watches, I suppose. But I think the end result is pretty awesome. Or I suspect the end result is awesome, sort of based on what I can see on the box itself. I've also picked out my next build, and it is a very, very epic one. So 1, 2 straight, and then 1, 2, 3, 4 curves. So I need to put one more curve on. fairly rigid structure. I'm still not exactly sure how this section is held up at this end of the station here. Sort of intrigued to get to the end so I can kind of understand how that all comes together. So this one then has these little clips here on it. I don't know what you call these, but it's the little sort of Technic pins with the stud on the end. That goes on there then. Joins them together. So we are creating a very rigid structure here. Okay, and then this one has these big bad boys through, so again that's just presumably helping to strengthen the whole structure. Because I suspect these sections at the end here are going to have to do all the lifting and support, well, not support all the way to the upper section because it is held up on the other side, but it's going to have to support a significant portion of the weight of that upper section, so it's going to have to be very rigid and pretty strong. I'd say that kind of is. There's definitely enough. There's not a huge. There's a wee bit of flex in it, but it's definitely enough to support the weight of this. I would expect, and you sort of factor that in from both sides. I should think that there's going to be enough weight there. I presume then there's going to be maybe a bar or something attached to this, then that runs the whole way across. Okay, so now we need. Alright, we need to concentrate on this because what I've got 15, 17 of these then, so I'll do them in fives and then join them all together. So there's 1, 7, 5. Make sure that they're all the same way around because they're smooth on one side and sort of indented on the other, and that's not right. I think I want this smooth side to the outside. Is anyone that's just tuning in, remember to give us a wee, give the stream a little like and just, give the channel a sub. I would really appreciate that. And, if you only do 1 or 2, then just give the stream a like, throw a wee thumbs up in there just for the hell of it before you disappear. Right, so that's that done, I think. Then we need to join these all together. So there's kind of the length of the sort of sheet of glass, since this is gonna then it's not quite figure enough actually. Maybe that's only no, it's just the curve section. So there's also going to be a straight section. So it gives you, that's about half of the height of the dome. It just gives you a nice scope really to the scale of thing. It'll obviously become more evident the size of it once we get it built up. Now we just have to pop these on. And 2 and then 4 twos. We're just using these sort of rounded 2x1 plates then. And that sort of gives us a connection point then. And with them being rounded, it still allows that flexibility, for the actual structure to sort of curve and whatnot as well. Hey Victor, thank you for stopping by and saying hello. I'm really sorry, but I don't understand what it is you're saying, unfortunately. But I put too many of these on. Check this again. I think I've done something a wee bit wrong. We'll have 4 at the bottom then. there should be a sort of loose or a sort of unattached clip at the top. There we go, that's all fixed now. It's a bit hard to sort of make out exactly what's going on with these instructions because they're digital only, and I struggle sometimes to just kind of read them and see what's going on. But there we go. So that's kind of that's the entire scope of the side of the building there. So if I just hold that there, don't know how well you can see that actually. Let's see if I bring this across a little bit. Turn this around a wee bit. You'll be able to see then that oh, this is broken. That just sits, well, I suppose it sits down this end like that there, and then somehow it's going to support the weight of this platform here. And that's the first section built up anyway, so I'm just set that there for now, and we'll just carry on. I think there's going to be a little bit more of the same, because there's 8 sections of that kind of painting, so it's going to be quite repetitive here for a little while. But again, like I said, the actual end result will look amazing. Hamza Said Ali is asking what set this is. Hamza, it's actually a Lego Bricklink designer program set. I'll get you the box here now. Set number 91002 is from the 2023 Bricklink Invitational. It's called Studgate Station. That's it there now. So you can get a good look at it. So that's the station in all its glory, and just building up those glass panel bits at the side now. So we're nearly done. We're almost finished it. It's just over 4,000 pieces, so it's a pretty substantial build. But it's also class. It's really nice. So it'll fit really nicely in the layout. Remember to give us a wee sub if you want it. If you want to sort of stay abreast of channel developments, I will eventually get sort of properly working on my layout. Hamza, it's funny you should ask because, well, there is one Ninjago set up there. I don't know how well you can see it. It's the Ninjago Markets, Ninjago City, or not Markets, the Ninjago City Docks. I also have the Ninjago City set. I have a few smaller ones. I don't really track Ninjago, but I also have this picked out for my next live build, which is it's an absolute ton. It's the Ninjago City Gardens set that retired last year. It looks a bit funny there because it's all shrink wrap because it's been in storage. It's an absolute monster of a set. I'm really looking forward to building it. I don't have the markets yet. That's retiring this year, so I will get that before it goes out. But those are the only Ninjago sets that I get. I'm not really big into Ninjago. I've kind of not really a Mac guy, and I'm not really never watched the programs or anything, so it's never sort of captured my imagination. But I absolutely adore those big sets. I think they're class. And I do intend then to sort of make a little kind of Ninjago city using all of those big sets, and then I've got a few smaller ones. I have a police chase set from the Ninjago movie. It comes with like a wee tuk-tuk. So we have that as well. And I think that's it. So yeah, there you go. I don't collect Ninjago, but I do have a bit. Okay, are you a big Ninjago fan then, Hamza, yourself? Do you watch it? Do you watch the program? Okay. No, obviously I'm not 11, as you can well tell, and to be honest, Ninjago would have been pretty big when I wasn't really interested in Lego. It was kind of when I was sort of outside of enjoying Lego. So I kind of missed the boat on that one, but I don't know if it would have been my thing anyway. It's not sort of the style of Lego that I'm particularly into. I'm not saying some of the sets are cool. Some of the mechs are amazing. They look amazing. Just they're not on my sort of radar for a set to pick up. Thank you, mate. Like I said, there won't be a lot in Ninjago, but I will be at some point in the future. I do intend to create a bit of a Ninjago in Ninjago town or city, kind of separate to. I've done something terribly wrong here. Yeah, separate to my sort of main layout. I've done something a little bit wrong here. I think I've missed a whole section. Okay, there we go. That's more like it. And again, I just want to check this. Apologies. No, I've dropped my suitcase. Thank goodness it's pretty sturdy. Apologies, I'm just picking this up. I was just pause the build for 1 second, but I'll fix this little lab. I don't know if any of you have come across this piece yet, but it's okay. I'm just making things worse. The Random Gamer, I picked up the retired Lego 2020 Galaxy Explorer for 150 off Amazon. Oh, that sounds like a good deal. I don't have that set. I'm not really into Lego space, although I did like that. I love sort of that, that recreation of an old set. I really like how they've done that. They've done a really good job with it. There we go, we're fresh now. Especially when they then follow it up, with the sort of Blacktron set as well, just to sort of extend that. But that's really cool. Have you built it yet, Random Gamer, or are you sort of just sitting on it for a wee while, or what's your plan? And so my favourite theme, it's a good question. That I love Lego trains. I would sort of argue that on their own, Lego trains are my favourite. Trying to work out what the heck I've done here. I've made a mistake. Oh, I have. Yeah, so Lego trains will be a big favourite of mine. I also really like the sort of modular sets, the Lego Icons modular sets. I like anything, where there's good sets that I can kind of incorporate into my layout. If you sort of see behind me there, you'll probably get a good picture of what some of my favourite sets are. But yeah, I love all the modular lines. Do enjoy Nice Castle, and I love Lego Ideas as well. I'd say probably Lego Ideas and Lego Icons, but then trains are a big favourite of mine. Although they don't really do trains going on justice. I don't get a lot of them, to be honest. So, but I do love a good Lego train. Has to be said. What about you, Hamza? What do you like other than Ninjago? Still waiting for it, can't wait to build it. Oh, that's cool. It's I do love the look of it now. I was very tempted by it whenever it came out, but too much Legos. You have to be a little bit selective, don't you, with what you pick up, and it was just one that I decided to let pass me by. There's Brickbeat in town. How's it going, man? How are you? Hope you're not driving today. Star Wars is very good. Star Wars is a crazy thing. I love Star Wars, but I don't bother with Star Wars Lego. There's too much of it. How that work? Being super productive. Keep an eye on them fish tanks now. Yeah, there's so much Lego Star Wars. I couldn't possibly keep up with it. I'm a bit of a completionist, so whenever I kind of start collecting a theme. I sort of want to pick up them all, and I just cannot get involved in Star Wars. Just too much of it. Here you've had a good day, Mark, on the old delivery front. The bugle, I should have brought the bugle down actually and built that myself. It is right on the very top of my build list, but somehow an Ninjago set has jumped in front of it, trying to diversify my audience. It was the Game Boy you got as well, wasn't it? It's hard to beat a good Lego delivery day. I haven't had one in ages. Ooh, oh, right now, because that's 1st of October. Oh, very good. And that didn't even register me. I, for some reason, decided it was on back order. Returned to Ninjago. And what's your sort of favourite style of setting in Ninjago scene? Do you like the vehicles, or do you like the temples or the mechs, or what do you go for? There's a whole lot going on there. So I really like the way that this roof is designed. So like I said, it just uses these kind of, I'm just calling them garage door panels. But then it uses obviously little rounded 2x1 bricks. They have holes in their stud, and on the end of the these little panels, they have these little sort of, I don't know what you want to call them, little bars almost, which just attach into the studs, and that then gives you a point of connection there on the end of it. Yes, you can indeed. I'm pretty sure it's available to most markets. Certainly the vast majority of the European market anyway. What are you building first, Mark? Are you going to go for the bugle, or something wrong here? You're going to go for the bugle, or bear with me, something's just not quite lining up here. Oh, I'll put them on together. You have bugle or the Game Boy first. Yeah, so that's the problem, isn't it? You got to be on the ball with these sets the second that they drop, really. Sorry, something's just not quite lining up here for me. I don't quite know what I've done wrong. I think I've done that wrong. I think that's up too high. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, if you sort of want to get into the theme and you're only joining the party quite late, then the cost of entry, with regard to picking up retired sets, can be a real sort of turn off. I know for me, that wasn't a problem for me, thankfully, like I say, because I don't really bother too much with Lego Star Wars, but I sort of wanted to pick up a lot of the modulars that I'd missed, whilst I wasn't collecting Lego, and I did have to pay a wee bit more than what I liked for a few of them, but sometimes you just have to keep your head down and sort of look out, because there are still bargains to be had out there, and every now and again a good set pops up if you just keep watching for it. So, but yeah, if you're collecting the UCS sets, then yeah, you're gonna have to pay big money, big money to get into them, which is a shame. But I suppose at the end of the day, the people that buy those sets and put them away to give you the opportunity to buy them in the future sort of have to factor in, that they are having to hold on to their sets, that to store them, if they look after them, it's tying up money, so they kind of do have to make something off it themselves. I suppose you would argue you should just be grateful that they had the foresight to pick them up in the first place to give you the opportunity to buy them. Something's really not right here. I'm missing an absolute mountain of pieces here. Unless, of course, there's another bag that I've missed. 18. I've done something dreadfully wrong, and don't know the easiest way to remedy this. Oh yeah, these older ones are great. So there's a load of new sets about to be launched. So it goes into a crowdfunding process, Hamza. You can't just sort of buy them out of the box. There's like a little crowdfunding process, and the next group of sets goes live on the 6th of October, so is that next Monday? I'm not sure exactly what date it is, but yeah, so and some of the sets that are not that run are amazing, absolutely amazing. So definitely keep a little eye out for that. They are pricey, that's the only problem. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I made a really big mistake really early on. I'm absolutely plumbed, to be entirely honest with you. Hopefully this is easy to fix. Sorry, bear with me 1 second, folks. I am having to do a bit of deconstruction here because I made a mistake. Made a mistake very early on in the whole process, which I should be able to put right. I don't really know the Macs too well, to be honest, but I know now there was one released two that released really recently, which are almost like if Ninjago had a UCS line, they're almost like UCS Macs. Is there like a Fire Mac, and is there like a green one as well? Random Gamer, it is absolutely amazing. I can 100% vouch for that. I have built it previously, and it's an absolutely fantastic set. However, there is a section of the build that is one of the most painful things I've ever had to build in my entire time building Lego. And I suppose this is where one of the, not a problem with Bricklink, but one of the compromises with Bricklink is sometimes it's design over, structural integrity. And I guess in order to, hey Negro man, how you doing? Very good. See what you did there. Got me. Yeah, the sorry, I'm just bear with me 1 second, Random Gamer. Sorry, I'm just trying to make sure that I'm doing this right. Alright, so that's that section. Okay, I'm back with it. Yeah, so it's a fantastic build. I really enjoyed it, and it looks stunning. And it's absolutely not something that Lego themselves are going to design, which is great. But yeah, there's a little section in it. It's like a water tower, and the sort of base structure of the water tower is essentially just built up of like bars and clips and stuff like that, and it's kind of just designed to, like, it's not, there's no structural integrity to it, so it is all set up so that the bars cross over, but they don't join at any point, so there's no sort of force resistance or anything like that, and it, obviously, like the rail tank will have been designed in such a way to give you that integrity from the cross beams, the triangular beams. And this is obviously just built to look like that, and it looks the part, but um, the way it all clips together, and then there's like sort of wooden effect pieces that then sort of clip onto the outside of the kind of structure that you create, and it's super flimsy, and it really doesn't hold together terribly well, and whenever you then go to place the actual sort of silo, the water silo that sits on top of the base structure, it in itself was a tricky enough build, but it wasn't so bad. But you then, that's then built onto a set of plates, and then when you go to put that on, the whole thing underneath is very prone to just crumbling below you. So I built it so many times before I finally got it sort of built and in place, and now I'm absolutely petrified of touching it. However, the train itself is absolutely stunning. It truly is. It's so good. It looks so well, and like I said, it's not something that you're generally going to get from Lego themselves. However, consequently, it doesn't quite have the same. The Berkeley sets don't go through kind of the same rigor of testing, I suppose, that Lego sets go through, so they're a little more prone to sort of structural integrity, if you will. But absolutely stunning set. Cannot argue that whatsoever. Right, so that's the first section built. There you go. So they just clip together on the inside there. I don't know. There's sort of hoping there's going to be something runs across the top of them to just hold it together a little bit better. Because these sections are merely joined by this little bar here. So I'm just going to set that up there for now. And then bag 19 is, by the looks of it, just finishing off one side. Callum Kane. Hi Man United. Hey, hi man. You're either a United fan or you just love hating on United. I totally get either. I don't, well, it's hard to be a United fan in public at the minute, isn't it? Absolutely stinking. So how you doing, man? Thank you very much for dropping by. Guys, anyone that's sort of on the screen at the minute, make sure to give us a wee thumbs up there. Even if you're not interested in what's going on, just fire a wee thumbs up before you go, because it takes very little effort, but helps me a lot. And heck, if you're remotely interested, you could go ahead and give us a wee sub as well. Yeah, I'm one of those United fans that I won't hide my shirt whenever performances are bad, because I've had long enough of the glory days, and I'm just going to have to endure the bad times. Which I absolutely thought Ruben Amorim was going to bring to an end, but it's not looking good. I think Ruben's going to find himself out the door soon. I'm just jumping ahead a wee bit and just building these panels, because I know they're 17 tall each, so I'm just going to get them built, and then that's these bits sort of out of the way then. Good man, Hamza. Build and watch. How does that sound? What are you going to build? What's on the build list today? I presume most of the people kind of watching this stream are on mobile devices. Question mark. I had sort of been sort of exploring the idea of doing sort of horizontal streams, but I don't know quite how they perform, you know, given. Right, hold on, let me think about this. I'm just going to build as many of these as I can in this format, and then all that I have left to do is. What Hamza, are you going to build a set, or are you just looking to sort of create something yourself? Do you have like a wee Lego city or anything that you're building? Okay. What should you try making? What about just like some sort of a mech? How does something like that? Maybe like a fire mech or something like that. I don't know. Just spitballing. Subject 120. Yeah, it's a fab build, isn't it? Do love my stations. Do love anything sort of train related when it comes to Lego, to be honest. Sort of always thinking about my layout as well. It's a bit of a non-starter at the minute, but it'll grow eventually. It will happen. But I just like to get some of this sort of transport infrastructure built. It just means then I can start placing stuff around. It just helps me sort of lay out sort of the railway and stuff a little bit better. So there's a better appreciation for what sets kind of need to place and what other wee things I can add. I would like to do a few wee custom stations and stuff as well. But for now I've got this, and I've actually got a bad boy up there, the brick crawl station. This is another bricklink set, so it's super good as well. No, well, sure, build as long as you can, and then you can go on about your business. Yeah, that's good, man. If only we had the time to just sit around all day and build Lego, man. That's not always my life. It's just been at working Tuesdays, and I've got a wee bit of time to hang out, and while the cat's away, the mouse will play, and I will do a bit of building. Lillian Rose is in the building. Hi Lillian Rose, how are you? Thanks for saying hello. What are you up to today? It's class, isn't it? I'll show you the box in 1 second. Just let me pop these wee pins in, just so you can kind of get a better scale. It's hard. The sort of bulk of the structure sitting here, sort of the main section of the station. And then this is the top section then that sort of sits on top. There's a big dome that goes on here as well. Robert, I'm building this set here. So it's Stugate train station from the Bricklink Designer Program set. This is from the Invitational series back in 23, set 910002. So it's sort of fan designed station, obviously that sort of made it through the Bricklink Designer Program. I am sort of finishing it off really, so see if I can lift this up. The scale of it is pretty fantastic. So, oh crap, there's trains on it. I don't want them to sort of roll off. So that's kind of the bulk of the structure there anyway. The sort of downstairs section with the track and stuff running through it, the platforms. And then this is kind of the This kind of platform then it's going to sit on top of this, and there'll be a big dome up here, so it's a pretty substantial structure. And yeah, no, I love it. It's really cool. There's to be honest, it's more sort of building and architecture. Hamza, very quickly, yes, I do have an Instagram. It's Stereo Studs, same name as my Instagram channel, so you can look me up on. But yeah, it's not the most sort of fantastic looking. Well, it's architecturally beautiful, but it is more design than anything else. It's not exactly packed full of details and stuff. The actual building itself, it looks huge. There's no ticket office, there's no waiting rooms, there's no cafe, there's nothing like that. It's all very much platform and track, and then it's all obviously housed in this sort of big station. There is a ticket booth on the platform, but it's not much. But it's pretty awesome. Train sets. Do you know what? It's a pain when you're trying to move it about, but it's nice that it's included, because more often than not you don't get. You know, you buy a station, especially if we look at the likes of the Lego City line there, for example. You buy a station, you don't get a train. So it's kind of nice in that regard, that you get everything you need to sort of get up and running. With a layout, you know, so you've got the station, you've got a bit of track, and then you've got a cool wee train. The train itself is fairly minimal. There's very little detail inside it. There's just a line of seats, but it's fit for purpose. It's obviously not part up or anything, but it's absolutely fit for purpose, and I think it looks well. I'm going to do a wee bit of work to it once I get off on it and get the time. I'm going to extend it a wee bit and add an additional carriage, just to flesh it out a wee bit and sort of make it a little bit more interesting. I just finished making 9 3/4 from Harry Potter and tried to display it, but the train fell and smashed. Bummer. Which set's that, Lily? In the sort of older Hogwarts Express set with the 9 3/4 train, or the Book Nook that came out recently? No, that's the worst. It's easy to build from scratch, isn't it? But when you're trying to rebuild something that's broken, it can be very hard to sort of piece it all back together again. Yeah, there's nothing worse than breaking Lego. I actually had the heck right on here. Something's not right. Something's not right at all. Okay, done. 1, 2. Sorry, bear with me 1 second. See you, Hamza, mate. Thank you for dropping by, and I appreciate it. It's a wee station with a wee bridge over it, and you have like a wee platform on either side, and then the Hogwarts Express. Usually, man, thank you. Okay, we're all good. I've just put too many of these on. Just got a bit excited when I was building them, so I presume they're all going to be the same. That's pretty easy fixed. It is 2:15 in the afternoon where I am, so it's still nice and early in the day. What about you? So you're west of me then? Where could you be? Oh, PM. Apologies, no, you're east. Your day is almost over. Always the day ahead in Australia, aren't you? That's good. How's things down under? Well, I'm in the UK. I'm sorry, I've just sort of concentrating a little bit here as well. Yeah, is there not like much content creation goes on? Kind of. There's bound to be plenty of decent creators in Australia, is there? Although, yeah, to be fair, the bulk of creators are probably way across the Atlantic. Okay, so this clips on again, so maybe we clips out of the way. So we're kind of starting to take shape okay here now. Oh gosh, hundreds and hundreds. I'm a bit of a rampant collector, to be honest. I've got an absolute ton of stuff. Like in this room alone, what have we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. So I've got 23 just sort of in the vicinity of around me here, but that's merely, this bad boy in front of me here. But that's merely, I don't know if you can see him. I've got our little scaled up minifigure friend here as well. He kind of hangs with me when I'm filming. Although he's just out of camera at the minute for some reason. So yeah, a lot is the short answer. I don't know, I couldn't actually put a number on how many I've built. I wouldn't be at all surprised if I have thousands of sets. I'm absolutely. I've got way too much, truth be told. But sort of during COVID in particular, I just collected like mad. I was picking up so much Lego. Do you know what? That was great. Give me sort of something back for myself. I look like one of your family friends. I'm definitely not fucking Garen, I can promise you, because I presume that they're local. I've got one of those semi-generic looking faces. Yeah, that's good. Thank you. Thanks for the chat, I appreciate it. I suspect I'm going to be sitting doing this for some time yet. I thought I'd kind of be able to rattle through this build on this screen and get it finished, but it's taken me the best part of an hour to do one side of the roof, and I suspect I have to repeat this entirely on the other side. So it's semi-arduous, I suppose, but it's gotta be done. It'll look cool when it's finished. We've almost finished one section here. This will be a bit of relief. And I think these just clip then on again, don't they? Yeah, there we go. There's actually more of these sort of bars and stuff here than I realised. Sort of tried to build them all in advance, and I think I've missed one. Or no, that's maybe the horizontal support. So that then goes into this. And we do one more build. That's curious because there's usually a bar that goes across the bottom. Maybe there is enough here. Just doesn't look like enough pieces to do it all, but perhaps there is. Thought I had all these kind of vertical panels finished. No, there's more than enough. Didn't look like anywhere enough just sitting there in front of me, but it's comfortably enough. And just have kind of this bar then that runs across the bottom. I've got loads of these wee wires left. I know you would sort of tend to have some of those, smaller pieces left over, but it feels like there's way too many of them here. Back already. That was quick. We're almost finished this side, thank goodness. So it does look good. Ooh, we're missing a piece. Over here. A somewhat important piece of that. Oh, there we go. Coming back in the bag, thank goodness. No, I get you. Right, so clip this on, there's just this wee vertical bar, and that just gives it that wee bit more sort of support and rigidity. I don't know if I could keep it all together. There we go. I still think I've missed a wee piece somewhere. I think I know where it is. I'm going to go looking for it now. Oh no, I haven't. And I understand how this is held in place. Surprisingly, with very little to hold it in place in the bottom. There we go, so there's one whole side of the roof done. It's not going to sit up now, it's very flimsy because of these bars holding it together. Of an extra, one more piece here than I kind of would expect to have, but I don't think I've missed anything, so. Right, and now it's just taking us through. I'm actually going to set this in place, so my suspicions are, oh no, that doesn't fit, how can that be? Ooh. I don't think I've done anything wrong here, but I wonder if the problem is here. I think that's meant to be like so. I think I made a mistake earlier in the build. Yeah, do you know what? That particular piece as well, had it not have been there, I would have been unable to substitute it with anything from my collection, so I would have been okay. So I'm just going to leave that sitting like that for now. It's only kind of temporarily in place. It's still a bit flimsy along the top. I presume there's going to be like some sort of a crossbar. That's going to go across and turn it off. And I also presume that we're just replicating the exact same thing on the other side. Make sure we get all the pieces out this time. So I'm actually going to tip out both these bags, and I'm just going to build this my own way. So I'm going to do all of these sort of central structures first. I'm going to clip all the little garage door pieces together as well, and then just going to systematically work my way across it. It's just I don't know if you can see there, but it's a massive pile of crazy bricks. Look at all this. That is 2 sections of the instructions, but it's all Technic bars with pins and more of these. It's just to recreate this, but on the other side. So it's a million miles from exciting, but we're going to do it. But yeah, sorry, I was saying Lillian Rose rather. Yeah, that was a piece that if it hadn't have appeared, there's nothing I could have done about it. So thankfully it did. More often than not, like I touch wood, but more often than not, I never have missing pieces in my Lego sets. And having said that, I'm building the Dungeons and Dragons set at the minute. I'm actually building that in like a wee series, a short series. So by all means, pop over and check that out. And remember, guys, give us a wee thumbs up there if you're currently watching, and drop us a sub while you're at it. Helps the channel tons and is massively appreciated. It's not a huge amount of effort on your part. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 5 more. But yeah, so I'm building the Lego Dungeons and Dragons set, and I'm actually missing all of the capes. So I actually need to contact Lego, see if I can get them sent out, especially before, I don't think the set's due to retire anytime soon, but sort of want to get that before the set retires. But yeah, so every single one of them. So they do all come in a little box together. So that was a bit disappointing. But that's very much a rarity for me. I know a lot of people sort of complain about bits and pieces, but it's not something that tends to happen to me. So I'm rather fortuitous in that regard. So we might get this finished today. For now, then I know exactly what I'm doing with this. I should theoretically make fewer mistakes, and I'm sort of approaching it slightly differently. So I know, like when you're watching a build stream, no matter sort of when you join in, you kind of always want to see the end result, really, don't you? And then I have 2 stations, and I think what I might actually do is I might bring them up into my sort of Lego room, which is up above my garage, and I think I'm actually going to buy a couple more tables tomorrow for storage, for part storage and to build on, and I might see if I can start expanding my layout a bit. I need to sell a lot of Lego, to be honest, partly to fund additional purchases and partly just to free up space. A lot of stuff that I don't want anymore, particularly Harry Potter. I have a lot of Harry Potter that I'm not really interested in, so I'll be looking to move that all on. At the minute, you see all the sets are just kind of sitting out on the floor of my garage, sort of in their themes and big piles. So I can't really get building my tables and stuff for my layout until they're all gone. Just still making sure to be careful to keep the smooth sides all together. And then just the last line of these to do. And then I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So 12 of those kind of vertical supports. just made up from the Technic connectors and pins. So I'm going to make them next, and I'll do the. I'm not worried about the horizontal supports. I'll do them for when we get to them because they're a lot smaller and slightly different each of them. I figure if I build all these same pieces at the same time, then whenever it comes connecting the whole thing together, it should be a wee bit quicker. That's what 1, 2 straights and 4 curves. If anyone that's just tuning in, we're actually building a Bricklink Designer Project program set. Say Studgate train station 910002. So we're just working our way through it at the minute. We're probably on the home stretch now, I would say. We're just kind of creating the roof structure. So there's like 2 big curved roofs that go on the side. Nice sort of glass roofs. You can see one of them kind of sitting here. I don't know how well you can see that. I'm not going to turn stuff around at the minute because I'm a bit tight for space. I don't want to knock stuff over. But and then these somehow also support this section here, and then all that remains here then I believe is there's a big dome that needs to go on top of that. So I think all we'll have left to do then is pop the dome on. So I've got 12 of these to build. I'm going to do that first, and then I can start adding all of this together and creating that roof. Anyone that is just tuning in, I hate to be that person, but do consider giving the stream a wee thumbs up just before you move on. See, before you flick on, just give it a like. You don't have to like it, but I will like it if you do it. And if you're interested in following along and joining me in future streams, then pop on over and give us a wee sub. I have a really good build lined up next. It's an awesome build, especially if you're a Ninjago fan. And I'm going to need the Ninjago fans to join in that stream because there's going to be characters galore, and I don't know any of them, and I will need help to give the build a wee bit of context, I suppose. I've never watched Ninjago, but I love the sort of big Ninjago city sets. You can see one up there behind me. The docks are sitting up there. And I do have the city set built, but it's parked elsewhere. But I've got the Ninjago City Gardens, which was the last one to retire. It's actually the one with the Golden Woo minifigure, which again means very little to me, but I suspect there's a hint of exclusivity there as the Woo legacy. So yeah, I'm building that next. Still to pick up the Ninjago City Markets, which I'm pretty confident is retiring this year. So that will be next on the agenda. Hoping it gets a reduction. Because the only reason I held off buying it is because the Ninjago City Gardens, before it retired, was discounted on Lego's website. And it's rarely discounted anywhere else. These I think they're available in Smith, but Smiths are very tight with the discounts. So I'm sort of hoping that they'll do the same to clear out this set, and I'll be able to get it discounted with, if I'm really lucky, double VIP points and a neat gift of purchase. So that's the only reason I haven't bought it yet. I'm chancing my arm a little bit and leaving it at the last minute. Could massively backfire because it's already in the return list and on Lego's website, which means once it's gone, and it may never actually get a reduction. I don't know how well it's been selling, so that could backfire for me, but sometimes you gotta live on the edge, right? Jacob Wilcox says, wow, nice Lego builds. Jacob, yeah, well, nice build here, and yeah, some awesome builds sitting in behind me as well. This particular one is an amazing build, but it's not the most fun. I'm going to be entirely honest. It hasn't been the most fun thing to build, but some of those, if I move my chair a wee bit, you can get a wee better look at sort of what's behind me there. There's a lot of modulars. I don't know how well you can see that. I do intend to, these will all be coming out of here eventually. They'll all be going into my little Lego city when it's up and running. So they're kind of just temporary there for storage, but I think they make a nice backdrop for streaming. I could make movies with them, but I don't know if you've watched any of my my long form videos, but my production skills are non-existent. I will be building a layout, and I'll be incorporating them sets into my layout. And I intend to try and do just a wee bit of, just setting up nice scenes in the city and doing a wee bit of photography and sort of working with it that way. I'll as awesome as making videos would be, I just don't have the skill set, I'm afraid. And I don't have the time to sort of learn stuff like that. But yeah, that's what I'd like to do. I'm having a huge railway. I want to create, like I said, lots of cool scenes, you know, maybe like I don't know, sheep on a train line and people coming out to help clear, and just stuff like that, you know, just fun wee bits and pieces, and then just kind of create a wee story and take a wee photograph and do it that way. That's sort of the approach I'm going to go for. Which I think will be cool if I ever get there. It's a long way off though, because I've got a lot of building to do and I'm not actually really doing anything on my layout at this point. So it's more a dream than anything else, but I will just sort of create videos of the process as well and stuff like that. Or I'll try to. Oh, I love the Stitch set. I don't really know much about Stitch, to be honest. It's not a movie that I've ever seen. He seems to be a very interesting and popular character. I've definitely picked that up. But the wee buildable Stitch figure is pretty lethal. I do like it. And then the Angel one come out as well, which, you know, looks the part as well. I had considered getting it. I'm not sort of a big Disney collector. And I do like to get the odd display thing, but I kind of want them to mean something to me, and like Stitch doesn't. Other than the fact that it looks class. But it's a very neat set. It does look amazing. You definitely need to get it built. I have thought, you know, I do like the sort of buildable figures, and I had thought of collecting them, but then they brought out these boys, the scaled up minifigures, and there's quite a few of these, and I love them instead, to be honest. So I'm just gonna go with them. And they'll create like a nice wee display instead. Oh dear, okay, I'm nearly done. One more of the curved ones to go on, and then that's all of these panels built, and then I can start fusing them all together. In fact, I will just do, let's see, I think I stopped. Sorry folks, my phone just rang there, but I don't know who it was. So stop anyway. Just remember to knock my phone off whenever I'm streaming. I'd love to get a different device to stream on other than my phone, but that's what I'm working with at the minute. I don't think I'm getting a wee like DJ gimbal, but again I'll still be using the phone, or I'd consider maybe like a GoPro or something like that, I don't know. Don't really want to spend a lot of money and stuff either. And so here we've got that. That's great. And then I've actually just cracked on these wee end bits anyway. Just may as well get them finished. And then that's all of these sections done. And then yeah, it's just a case of fusing it all together. So we're almost there. I just can't wait to get this bit done, to be honest. So there's still a considerable little pile of pieces here, but they should all take shape fairly quickly. Right. So we've got one, and then another one that has these in it. So just a few connectors in to sort of connect these panels all together. There we go. And that goes on like so. Or not. So it's hard to get them all in at the same time. There we go. And this is just all sort of trying to build a wee bit of strength into the whole structure. And then we've got these sort of Technic bars that have the sort of clip on them, and well, not clip, but the connector, and then the studs in the end. And that goes in here as well, and that just holds the whole lot together that way bit better, and then also gives you a point of connection at the end. Okay. Oh God. 4 more. 3, 4, is that right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Something's not quite right there. I think I've maybe connected the bottom one in the wrong place. I have. I'll put one further down. It's the only problem, like, and I've done this multiple times, but I still do it wrong every time. The instructions just aren't super clear because they're digital, and to be fair, they're zoomed out a little bit because of other things on the screen at the same time. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, I miscounted. There's meant to be one more. Okay, there we go. And then this. Oh, crud. This is the wrong way around. I have it on that now. I make super hard work with this, constantly getting it wrong. I'm actually just going to leave them in there now in the hope that a future one will be built in that layout. I've just put the wee bars and clips in the wrong side. They shouldn't be that hard to pull out, but there's a second set of these have to go in, and just on the off chance that perhaps that's the way it's meant to be on down the build, I'll leave it there, and if I have to take it out, then I have to take it out. There we go. And then this connects on like so. That's better. Okay, that's the first little section really done. It's just a whole lot of putting clips in now. So it's definitely not the most exciting building, but I suspect that this is what Technic building's like. If you're a big Technic builder. Thank God not, but I find it's quite tedious, to be honest. And it does sort of allow you to build structures that you ordinarily may not be able to be fair. So there is an element of that. But I don't know, I much prefer sort of building with system. Okay, that's the first of the horizontal bars now. Also do, because this is another wee sort of repetitive task that you do multiple times over. It's just these wee connectors. So each of the sort of sections of roof are just connected by these little Technic pins, and they're kind of. And it gives it a wee bit of sort of flexibility. I don't know if that's intentional or not. I don't know if there's a bit more support that has to go on the top of these, just to hold it all together, because it is still a little bit on the flimsy side. I'd really love to get this build finished. This section now isn't a lot of fun. The end result's going to be fantastic. It's going to look the part. I totally get that, but it hasn't been a joy to build. Horizontal bar that goes in underneath, and then that sort of allows point of connection in between the two sections. So we've got this one, and then like I said, it's just wee Technic pins in the clip into the back of them. That just holds them together. Ta-da. Like I said, there's sort of vertical movement, no horizontal movement, but there is vertical movement on them. So it's not ideal really, but I presume, like I said, that there's going to be something more that runs across the top of them just to hold them all together. bit, and then the rest of the build hopefully be a little bit more exciting. It is all, like I said, one of the things with this build is it's very structural. There's not tons of sort of stories or detail or anything like that, you know, so it's not the most exciting of builds, I suppose, but as a sort of a building for a layout or even just for display, it really, really does look class. And look, I'm not completely hating on it, it's not that bad. I think, in honesty, the experience has been slightly tarnished by this little section here because it's super tedious. Done. Definitely feels like a quicker way to do that than the way I've done it previously, you know, just building all these little sort of structures separately and then clipping it all together at the end. Kind of gets you through the tedium of the repetitive building all in one go, and then it feels a bit more like you're sort of putting something together. Onto here. And we are the best part of the way through it now. Oh, look at that, it was not just a joy. So I put these all in earlier, and I put them on the wrong side. I actually put them in the wrong way around, and I thought I'll leave them in the off chance, and look at that. We are further in the build, they're on the right side. And that's the side that they're meant to be on. So it just saves me sort of taking them all out and having to put them all back in here. Once again, I've got loads of these wee pins left. I don't quite understand why. I feel like am I missing them somewhere, or are they just massively oversupplying them? Because I definitely oh, hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right. I don't see anywhere else that they can possibly go. 5 there and 5 there. So we've got. I don't think I've missed any. I'm actually just going to do a wee quick flick back through before I progress this, because that's the end of that section. There's no way I should have 5 of these pins left. I had quite a few left in the last section as well, so I just want to be doubly sure. If there's one on the underside of that, which I've got. There's none in that section, nor there. How do I get rid of that there? Let's go there. 6 of those. I'm going to go right back to the very start and just work my way through that whole section again. Just be 100% sure. So sorry, this doesn't really make for a very interesting viewing, but just want to be 100% sure I've got this right. So I did take out the 2 bags at once, so I'm going to have to go right the way back to the start of the previous bag. Sure, then why the wrong way. I'll go back to bag 20 and I just want to be doubly sure. So start off, we build that, and it just is as it is. And we build it again. This time we put, so that's the Technic pins, the full pins with the connector on either side. And the next one has those bars through it, so there's nothing there. Nothing on that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If I just lift this up, hold it this way, so all 6 are there. 100%. It goes this way, doesn't it? Right, so all 6 of them are in there, that's 100% right. And then there should be 1 in underneath there, and there is. That's the only one that goes in that section. And then there should be 6 in here, again 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, so they're all there. And then we have another 6 on this side, so again 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All 6 of them are there. Oh, okay. I get it. So in the middle one, in each instance, there's meant to be 1. I messed up. I've done that on both sides actually. 1 there, and 1 there. 6 and 6. 6 and 6. Right, I think that's where I've missed. And I do need to just. I've done the same on the other side as well. Still got way too many pins left over here, but I don't see anywhere else where I can use them. The whole thing is as it's meant to be. Everything's pinned in the way it's meant to be, so I don't think we'll have any problems. I just want to check, just make sure there's not somewhere else that I've missed. There's 6 in there, and then that little bar in the middle one again. Right, so I need to do the same thing on this side. If I take this off. So I didn't put the pins in the middle sections of these. Right, okay, so I think we're okay now. I think that's us. So we've got our 2 sections of roof built now, which is great, because that wasn't fun. Which means we're on the bag number 22, for which there are 3 bags. Let's just jump back to where we were in the instructions. Okay, so. Oh gosh, okay, so these all clip onto the top of this, right? Oh yeah, because there's. Oh, crikey, I'm not looking forward to this. This isn't going to be terribly easy. I need to work out a way to do this. So essentially, these panels so there's Technic bricks the whole way along the base here, and these panels clip in. I don't know the best way to do this, to be honest. Set that out of the way. I'm going to set it on the edge of the table here and see if I can make sure I've got this the right way around. Very hard to tell. I don't think it really matters. I think they're the same both sides, right? So if I Don't get me wrong, it looks great, but it's not easy to connect. Not easy at all. This is going to make fantastic viewing. Stick with me. So there's 3 pins on this side, which all have to go in. Right, I think that's them in. And then we've got one here. Then these are all coming out then of the wee anti-studs that these go into. Right, I think that's it now. And then at the same time there's also clips for the top bar of the roof structure to go into. My word, right, okay, so I think we're in. And to be fair, like it does look class when it's built. But my goodness, it's not the easiest thing to get in. Once I've got this side in, I'll bring it up a little bit closer just to show you, because it's not just a case of feeding the Technic pins into the holes. You also have to be mindful of the fact that there's pieces breaking off everywhere. It's all black on black, and there are little clips as well that, well, maybe that's why it has this, maybe that's why they sort of designed the connectors the way they have, because there is a wee bit of flexibility and a wee bit of movement. Right, I think that's those 2 in. Oh, right, next. It's also very hard to see because there's these wee sections that are overhanging, so it's hard to even find the friggin' hose. Again, this is the difference between Bricklink designer sets and Lego sets. I don't think you'd ever get a Lego set that has to be put together in this way, because it fundamentally isn't easy. And I'm sort of very conscious of the thing crumbling underneath me whenever I try to press it in. Do you know what? I'm taking this section off. It should make it a bit easier because you have to cut those wee sections in as well. Oh no, what a mistake I'm making. The whole roof structure is breaking on me here. Okay, I think we're fixed. Right, I think that's all in. And then one last bit to go. That'll be the tricky one. It's the 3 pins on the end. Chic. Okay, that was a nice click. Right, we're in, and then I think I can just add this back in then. Okay. Sheesh. So, that's how it looks when it's on. So, to be fair, it looks absolutely amazing, but holy damn, that's tricky. I'll show you why. I'll bring that over and let you hold it. So basically, it connects along here. It's hard to see because it's all so black. But the whole way along here, there are these Technic bricks with the holes in, and then these little, I don't know how well you can see them here, but these clips. So there's 3 here, 2 here, 2, 2, and 3, and then various clips along the way. And then what we're having to do is, so this is the full sort of build of the roof here. So I have to get these 3 pins into the holes. Then we also have to clip this tiny little sort of bar here into the clip sections as well. So it's a million miles from straightforward, but it looks superb whenever it is done. Alright, Pat, how you doing? only once today. Right, so now you try and get the other side in. I wonder if I tip it up like this, will it work any easier? Don't know if it'll sit like that or not. Let's have a go. This feels like it's not going to work, but I don't have the. I can't hang it out over the desk like I did for the other side here because that whole roof section's on. I hope it's sort of easy to see the challenge here. Just there's not really a whole lot to grip onto because structurally there's not a whole lot. Right, there we go. Now these are all breaking off on me. Like I said, I know the end result's going to be worth it, but I'm not really enjoying the process of getting there. Okay, that's the first bit in. Take a breath. Take a breath. I really can't be bothered doing this, but I also just want to get it done. I'm just going to take this wee section off again like I did on the other side. Because that made it a wee bit easier. It just helps get a wee bit more light in. I know we're not quite there yet, but I also might. I'm just afraid the whole thing splitting or something. So just trying to push these pins in. That's where the biggest challenge lies. We've not a lot to grip onto. Maybe I should have done it the other way. Maybe need to get that one in first. There we go. Actually, no, don't do this to me. Okay, that's the second one in. Don't know if it's what the easiest way to do it is, but I'm just going to keep going until we get there. That worked pretty well, but I think that was just by chance. And that's just clipped in nicely. Okay, we're doing alright here. Just the last one to go. We're nearly there. Watch the whole thing fall over now. Hoping then that this one should be a wee bit more straightforward because all the rest of us are lined up already. Oh, come on, get these three in. I think we're done. Yay. So we just need to put this piece here back on again. Press it down and this should now stand like that. Okay, how cool is that? It's pretty epic, I must say. Oh, I really hurt my arm. I've got a sore, I've hurt my rotator cuff from the left shoulder, and just all that pressing and stuff there has caused a wee bit of discomfort. But I think I like it. I don't like the process of making it, but I like the end result. And then this should just sit on now. Like, let's bring this over so you can. What's this? Process. Shucks. Sorry, there's only a bird collector. There, separator. Right, so this should then just slot on top.
not quite right, is it?
There we go. Then there's not quite right at this end, is it? There we are, that's it now. Did knock a wee piece off there, I have no idea where it is. One of these wee bits is coming off the end here. It'll be somewhere. I'm not going hunting for it now, but I think that's all on and in place.
But nowhere, it just sits kind of loose on this side. It doesn't actually clip on anywhere on this side.
There's like two wee drop. There's like two wee sort of anti-studs over here that the horizontal section just kind of sits into. But right, that's it all sitting on. Like I said, I've dropped a wee piece. I didn't where it went. I kind of hate that. I don't know if it fell into the set or came off here. Just want to lift this for one moment. There's it. Anyway, I'll come back. I'll look for that at another point. You can't. It literally can't be far because it fell off right here when I was putting that roof section on. So, okay, so that's where we're up to so far. Then that is the roof section all finished. Thank goodness. That was not an easy build, but how impressive is that? How awesome does that look? I'm just distracted by this missing piece. That's the end profile from that side. And then I'll flip it around and let you have a wee look from this side. So that side's up. This is obviously a lot more open here. It's lovely lighting. Lovely lighting reflecting through. That's so class. It really is. And just the reflection of the light coming through these panels down onto the platform just looks so good. That's done. That just makes for just a really nice shot actually down through that. That's very cool. Right, okay, so I'm getting a bit distracted here. So there you go, that's where we're up to. So we're onto like the penultimate stage then in the build. I'm still sort of distracted by that piece that's fallen off. It's just basically this. Another one of these here. So I guess it's not terribly big. It fell off when I was putting the roof on, so it has to be somewhere within the build itself. And it's just got me horribly distracted. Just want to know where it is. I hate when I can't find something. But for some reason it's just not sitting down terribly well. It's like there's something just not quite engaging right. So it does sit on that platform. That platform is there we go. The platform wasn't quite sitting right. And then the bridge here has got a little bit out of whack as well, I think. It's kind of separated. I don't know if it's just the stress of that all coming down on top of it. It has just funked up the bridge a wee bit, so it's not quite sitting as it was. It's not quite connecting actually. There we go, I got it now.
looks a wee bit separated from this side, but it's hard to kind of get on. I really don't want to take the roof back off again. But there's something not right in there. Now that was just kind of sitting freely there, so it's maybe just the pressure of the roof coming down top of it. Or maybe just knocked it out of kilter a wee bit. Still not perfect there. Right, I'm just gonna, I'll do all the wee,
I'll fix it all up when I'm finished. I'm going to crack on with building my house, but I'm hardly distracted here. I'm still massively distracted by that piece that's gone missing. But anyway, so on the next stage. So we're building this dome. So there's a dome that sits up on top here. So that's what's coming up with. So it is split out over 3 bags, but one of the bags is mostly the transparent window pieces. And then some interesting parts usage here as well. So we're using these big transparent bars with the 1x2 sort of plate on the end, which is quite good. So let's see how this all sort of goes together structurally. Hopefully it's solid. I'm a bit not 100%. There's just something not quite sitting right in there, and it's caused a wee bit of stress on some of the other sections of the build. It does look angular, like the angles look fairly straight, so maybe I'm seeing a problem it's not there. Right, so it just uses plates and hinges then to sort of create the shape and structure. So just got these little hinge bricks in, and they're all sort of sitting at an angle then, and that just sort of helps us create that nice round structure. Two more, and then that gives us, that's what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it's like an octagon basically. So what's that? About 45 degree angles, I think, rather. Maybe it just runs 45 degree angles the whole way around, gets that nice octagonal circle. So you need to find the last hinge pieces kind of hiding in here. These bars are super distracting. Right, where is it? There's always one piece that's sort of there. Hopefully line up way bit better when we get a few extra pieces on them. It's just going to repeat the same the whole way around. 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 1 hits, and we'll just do that all at the same time. two of this structure. Just there to hold them in place. It's the first time I've actually ever used this element in a build. Usually used kind of maybe for posing minifigures or things like that. It's the first time I've ever come across this use within a build. And then the final tune in, it's just these translucent bars with the stud on one end and the 1x2 plate on the other end. And guys, anyone just sort of tuning in there, do consider giving the stream a little thumbs up if you wouldn't mind. You don't have to actually like it, but it helps me if you give it a thumbs up and it doesn't harm you in any way. So that goes on there, and that goes on there. Stick that in. Just put it on the wrong end. Okay, and then two more of these. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm not sure what the difference is here, or if there's any difference, but I'm sort of suggesting to do them in pairs, so follow the instructions. Should just square the whole thing off too. Another brick. So you can tell I get quite close to the end because it's at this point where I just find myself so focused on the build that I kind of forget what I'm doing. I'm just gonna, it's gonna get finished at this stage. I'm also very aware of the fact that the washing machine is finished and I need to get the stuff out of it. So these go like, this will help create the shape as well. There's just these sort of rounded pieces here, which when all in place should hold everything together slightly better. We've got loads of the headlight bricks here. My iFall bricks just did a wee interesting, hey car spotter. iFall bricks just did a wee interesting video on his Instagram and YouTube just talking about this very piece and kind of the origins of it and how they're a real game changer for Lego. more about the headlight brick, head on over to his channel and check that out. How do I get that on? Oh, that's difficulty, my goodness. Okay. There you go, that's that bit finished. Oh dude, it's taking a good while, no lie. It's a very repetitive build, to be honest. So I've been doing this across a number of streams now, probably about, I don't know, 5 hours in total by the time I'm done, give or take. I'm not 100% sure about that, and I don't quote me on that, but certainly feels like that. But we're almost finished. We're kind of at the very tail end of things now. Once we've finished what you see in front of you here, then there's just a few small bags left to do. And it doesn't look like there's anything too much in there. It looks like a lot of minifigures, and I think there's like a nice big chandelier that hangs above the station, so we'll have to build that. But yeah, we're almost done. It would be a little bit faster if the instructions were physical as well. I'm a bit slow. I'm not a big fan of the digital instructions. It takes me a little bit longer to kind of process a build when I'm building with these. Okay, just these 2 little sections left to do. I suspect I probably could have done these in 4s rather than 2s. I don't know if it's necessarily any quicker that way or not, but as I said before, I like to kind of follow instructions along, where if you're repeating a section of instruction, I like to do them all at the same time. So do each stage for each section all at the same time, and sort of finish them all at once, but kind of sort of split them into 2s for some reason, so I was just working through them in 2s. We're almost finished. Just looking forward to getting done now, because it looks the part and I just want to sort of step back and look at it. Obviously you can see the bulk of the build there beside, so obviously today so far we're basically all we've done so far today is these sections, which took way longer than anticipated. Took the guts of an hour and a half just to do. Hey Hamza, how you doing? Welcome back. Right, I've kind of learned from the last time I did this. I'm going to do them this way. I'm going to do these sections first. Got the roof all finished, Hamza. We're making good progress. And just this little section here to go on the top then. In. so that's that section kind of all built up and finished. Presumably now all we need to do is connect these roof pieces. It's just going to be basically windshield pieces here, nice big trans windshield pieces. And just clip into place, and then this sit nicely against those bar pieces that we put in previously. Yeah, good man. Kind of glad to get this finished, to be honest. Right. So we're not quite done yet. Bag 23 then. This is the last section of the build. So it introduces our last few minifigures. Puts the top on this section here. Nope, we lost a piece of it. Carnage. The excitement of getting done is getting to me. I'm not going to bring over. Yeah, the last few minifigures. Yeah, we'll put the wee top on the dome that sits atop the roof, and then there's like a chandelier, I think, as well, that sort of hangs down. So let's get the minifigures built first. So we have, first up we have looks like the Station Master. It's our Topham hat. For any Thomas fans out there, or the Fat Controller as he was once called. So he's up first. So just a very standard figure, just with a black sort of suit style outfit on, which is very accustomed to what you expect from a real worker. And then he's just got a nice wee red flagpole then, waving the trains. And then we have a lady who's got a lovely lavender top on. Dual printed head then. We've got two dual printed heads there, they're exactly the same, so both figures here have the same head. So it's just got the nice little smile on one side, and then shades on the other. She has nice sort of brown hair, and let's see, she has a wee ticket as well, which is carrying around with her if I can find it. There it is. Okay, so that's our next minifigure there. And then the final figure is actually a wheelchair user. So again, the exact same headpiece as the previous one, different hairpiece, short black hair, little blue hoodie, and then she actually has her little wheelchair. So that's why there was all the wheelchair access put in, because we have a wheelchair user. And if I could find her front wheels, I could show you it in a bit more detail, but I can't. It'll be here somewhere, and it's just not sort of jumping out at me. Oh, there we go. And there we have our sort of wheelchair user then as well. And that's the last of the minifigures in the final three, so good wee haul figures. And then now it's just finishing this dome off. So let's get that done. Hopefully this will sort of join it all together, because it's still not holding the shape terribly well. My goodness, this is a curious build. So it's loads of these 2x1 modified plates with these are clip on the end, facing all sorts of directions. I'm clipping above and clipping to the sides. I have to do that. Oh gosh, that's a horrible noise. It doesn't go together terribly nicely. So I'll just get these two done. And then these just join in on either side of that or something. And the hooks go up the way, of course they do. Alright. Now, I'm going to jump the gun a wee bit here and presume that for each of these we're doing that. I suspect it's going to be the same the whole way around, so I'm just going to build it that way. Same with the other two bits we did with all of the clips and hooks. Just kind of get ahead of the instructions a wee bit. The chandelier looks like it's going to be an interesting section to build. There's some crazy parts sitting here. It'll definitely be interesting. Just missing one of these, there we go. And then I suspect these are just going to join like this the whole way around. So if I get to the end and this is wrong, then I'll eat my hat. That kind of makes sense. I'm still struggling to get the actual shape of it here. There's enough kind of flexibility in it that kind of adjusts quite a bit. It's not too far off actually. Whenever those all go in, we're a lot closer. It still doesn't have that nice dome shape. Right, yeah, we're right. So, and then just a wee top bit then, so still a wee bit to go. Those more plates and clips. What have we got here? Times 4, so we'll do this 4 times. So this is what I mean. I like to, whenever it's times 4, I like to just do each stage for each of the individual bills all at the same time. And sort of all progress along nicely, and they all finish at once, rather than finishing one then having to go back and do another one all over again. Zootech, this actually theoretically or technically I suppose originated in LEGO Ideas, so this is a Bricklink Designer program set. And more often than not, a lot of the sets that kind of make it through that program are LEGO Ideas sets that weren't successful at getting beyond, the crowdfunding or getting sort of beyond the selection process. So in essence, that is where it came from. It's not my design. I did purchase this set, so I purchased it through Bricklink and LEGO. It's no longer available to buy, unfortunately, but you could get it on the secondary market if you wanted to. I don't think the price has gone up a huge amount. These earlier ones now are a wee bit more sort of sought after than some of the newer ones because they're a bit more exclusive in their availability, or limited rather. But yeah, this is kind of already been down the ideas line and not quite made it, unfortunately. come here, then just clip onto the top of the translucent bars that we put in previously. And then, what have we got left? There's these 4 pieces. I don't know, this just doesn't feel right to me. Alright, those are all meant to angle in and sort of meet one another in the middle in like a nice wee square. But obviously that would require it to be perfectly lined up. It's quite tricky to get this sort of neatly lined up because it's all just kind of bars and hinges and stuff. Right, there we go. I think that's basically it. So they all bend in and meet one another, and then these ones basically sit out over the top. Plate on them here is very tricky build. This is super freaker. This is one of the things you'll notice with the brickling sets. They're not quite as finessed as Legos when it comes to, you know, the final quality of them. They're great. They're amazing sets, but there's certain build techniques in play here that wouldn't sort of make it into a Lego, an unofficial Lego set. Now the flip side of that is you're getting something that you probably would never get from Lego, so you know, I suppose we can't have everything. Okay. So there. So that's that sort of bulk of that built. Just have this wee section at the top then, which just sort of picks it off and then presumably houses the lovely big chandelier that hangs below. And then that will be us finished. Okay, so this is super ornate in design, using lots of these little gold elements. And these, well, like I said, I don't know exactly what these are called, but I kind of refer them as kind of elven pieces. I know that's somewhat ridiculous, but that's kind of what they resemble to me. So you can imagine a nice sort of elven architecture. Sitting at an angle it is. And that goes on there. What the heck have we got here?
popping these wee, it's like the wee studs that have the clip attached to the rear of them. So they're just going into the, it's like that sort of, I don't know what you call it, like it's almost like a cross clip. It's like the Technic clip that goes onto like a Technic pin or bar and then has 4 little clips on either side. Fiddly little build, definitely, I have to say. But I suspect it's going to be pretty impressive when it's finished. Oh, that's the bit I was talking about there. There's one more of it there. You can see how it's got 4 little sort of clips at 90-degree angles to one another. Where is this? What does this align with? This aligns with that. We're just using these wee chain pieces then, just connected to the wee modified sort of round 1x studs with the connecting bar on the end of it. It just clips down below and then we'll get this nice sort of chain section then from the top to the bottom. Chain goes on the underside. Fix this one as well. Okay, just one more loop. Keep it on the wrong side. Okay, this is starting to look pretty spectacular. Just angle them out a wee bit more, just almost at 90-degree angles to make it a little bit better. Okay. And then we have bars. So it's nice kind of candelabra style. Setup here. That there. That. And then that goes there. And then you go in there. And then the wee candle stick. Oh. Where'd you go? Where'd that little piece go? There it is. I'm sure it spurs them anyway, but I'd rather just use the ones. Oh, I can't get it to stay in. This is a bit awkward. Oh, hold on. I'm missing the stud. There we go, that's it now. I have to do 2 of those, so let's get the other one done as well. Flames in. Stay in there. And then where do they go? Ah, fantastic. It's a very neat design.
okay. Two more that we just done them all at the same time. I could presume there was going to be four, but oh, I was missing a black bar. Are you on there? You on there? That and that. We're so nearly finished. Just a few small pieces left. It is really just finishing off this candelabra here. Candlesticks in. The only thing I need to do is try and find that wee piece that fell off on me on there earlier. I don't quite know where it's went, but it's fallen somewhere into the set, so I just would like to find that and get that on, and then we're finished. And then I've got this bam off of a set to try and move. Wee bit figure getting these in just the way the bars and all connect. Alright. Just straighten everything up. Don't know how long it'll stay like that for, because when I'm moving it about I'll undoubtedly tweak bits and pieces here and there, but I tell them a wee bit. Right, there we go. What do we think so far, folks? Pretty impressive looking candelabra, isn't it? Chandelier, candelabra, whatever you want to call it. Okay, and then on top we have... I missed something here. Oh, okay, sorry now. Another piece goes in there. And then this clips onto the back of it. And we have our big silver chain, which is then held on the other side by that. I'll tell you this all up in a second. It's just kind of getting buffeted around a wee bit whilst I remove stuff. It's great that you get a spare chain, so I love that. Ta-da. Just want to straighten this up a wee bit before I hang it. Bring them all down, tidy that up a wee bit. Alright, there's our very grand and fancy hanging candelabra there. I must say that looks class. The only thing we have to do is open this all back up again. I've got two brown bars there. I'm not sure where they're from, if I'm entirely honest. And then this comes up through from underneath. Close the inside ones down to hold it in place. So this is quite figure. It's quite cool the way it works. It just uses gravity to hold it in place, and then these bits kind of just go in underneath, and then these. Oh, okay, so it's meant to go square, and then these come down square on top of it. Well, theoretically they do. Oh, and that just helps close it all in. Fabulous. Well, isn't that very grand and spectacular looking? There we go. So that, my friends, is the end. So this is the big dome then that sits on top, and we've got the sort of chandelier, candelabra, whatever you want to call it, that hangs in underneath, which will then sort of be suspended above the railway tracks on the station. So that then presumably just goes down in at an angle, and that just fits in really nicely. So I'm not sure if it's meant to clip in place or how it's meant to go, but there's kind of a little section that's kind of sitting here to hold it. It's not exactly fitting perfectly at this point, but it's not too bad. It's sitting okay. It's not super sturdy, but it's not sitting too bad. I think we can live with that. And that, guys, is us finished. Like I said, I've got two brown bars here, which I know what they are. The brown bar was meant to be for the flagpole. So I'll give that to our station master. Move these square pieces out of the way. So I'll bring this all over onto the main section. I'll just place these last couple of minifigures then. So I'm going to have this little lady. She's going to just be, she's crossing over to get the other platform. This woman's just standing at the ticket. No, she can be up. Yeah, she's standing on the platform, and the station master is just standing at the door. Fabulous, right? I'll now that that's finished, I'll bring the camera down to the table and sort of give you a little run around the entire set. And let you have a look at it. I'm not going to take the roof off, I'm afraid, because it's just a wee bit too volatile, and I don't want to damage anything. There is also one little piece missing, so the wee bit has come off here. It has to be somewhere, I just can't find it at the minute. But I'll locate that afterward and just place that on. So I'll have one last wee look around, see if I can see it. So it's fallen off here. It can only have gone so far. But anyway, I'll get the camera here, bring it in a bit closer, let you have a look, and then that wrap up today's stream. Okay, guys, remember to give the stream a wee thumbs up if you'd be so kind. I would really appreciate it, and it massively helps. So anyway, here we go. There's the station in all its glory. There's that nice end profile there looking down through. You can see the stairway that leads across from one side to the other. There's that lovely dome section that we added on today, and then upstairs there's just a few wee details. Nice wee sitting area in this corner. We have these two little viewing areas here, and we have this hot dog vendor in the corner here, and we have this little section on the outside here, which will presumably overlook, you know, the road or whatever. Like I said, there's down through the station, you can see the trains. You can see that little lady in the wheelchair scampering across in the background. And then if I spin this around as best as I can, again, there's some wonderful details on the front there. I love the clock there with the baton all below it and the little black microfigs. And then we'll just turn this around here. Sorry, one bit's just come out. This has a wee tendency, to be honest, to separate itself. There we go. And then there's an end view from the other side. There you can see again down through the station. Can't get that chandelier to stop moving. well, still going. But yeah, that for me looks so cool. It's just such a busy looking station, and like I said, the light coming down through and reflecting on the platforms, I think looks amazing. So yeah, if you think that's a good build, give us a wee thumbs up. Sorry, that's this other side here as well. Just let you see this side. There's a little less detail here. It's all just mainly walls and the sort of window sections, and then this wee bit of detailing up the top. But yeah, thank you very much for joining along the stream. I had a lot of fun building this. I'm gonna have even more fun placing it within my layout. I suspect it's gonna feature quite heavily and centrally within the city itself. It's a big build. It's on a 48 by 48 base plate, so it's going to take up a lot of real estate, but it's going to look super cool nonetheless. And it'll be great to have trains running through whenever it's in place as well. But anyway, have a great afternoon, evening, morning, whatever, and I'll catch us all on the next stream. Give us a wee like, give us a wee sub if you've enjoyed the content. I've got some great builds coming up. Next up is going to be the Ninjago City Garden set 71741. So I'll probably start building that on Friday evening. I'm really looking forward to that. In the meantime, got to clear this bad boy off the table and sort of get on with my afternoon. Thank you again, guys. I'll catch us all later, and have a great one. See you.